Story: we refuse the Terran proposal. The Terrans and the Nampathians stared at each other across the table. We refuse the Terran proposal, the 10-foot-tall Xenos stated with quivering tentacles. It is intolerable. But see here, the leader of the Terran said, if good men sit down and talk, acceptable solutions may be. Intolerable and inexcusable. This is not time for monkeys' chatter. This is time for war. This is time for extermination. Let me have a quick word with my colleagues, the human said as he stepped away from the table. It'll only be a minute or so. The Terran delegation discussed briefly between themselves before the leaders stepped up to the table again, fangs showing. So, you are quite sure that you want to declare war on Terra? Or possible Terrans? Yes, the spokesbeing of the Namphith delegation heezed. Your hot-blooded species is an affront to the goddess and must be exterminated. Sure. The Terran interrupted as two of the other Terrans brought their manipulatory digits together above their heads. And just to be clear, you also reject the idea of adhering to the Geneva Convention as amended for intraspecies warfare for this war. The mere idea of rulesses in war is a human madness and an affront to the goddess. Yes, just checking. One of the other Terrans came up and handed the leader a datapad. All right, so the war is definitely on? You're sure about that? And it's going to be a total war? No rules. One of the human's digits hovered over a big red button on the datapad. We're going to exterminate your sorry excuse of babbling sentient. Great, the human exclaimed as he pushed the button. I tell you, the Boffins have been itching for this chance for years now. They're still working on the exact details, but in about 5 minutes, we'll attack 1/3 of your planets with some interesting pathogens we've developed to infect non-Terran life forms. 1/3 with a range of fun new chemical weapons, when the last third we're keeping in reserve for some other experiments in xenocidal warfare. What? In S7 nanocyclus? How can you order that so fast? And pathogens? Chemicals? Xenocidal? What? You don't have instant communication over interstellar distances? We worked out the trick of that a long time ago. It is an interesting side effect of a project to link the cores of several stars to make a region-wide nova bomb. Nova bombs? What madness is this? Oh, we're unlikely to use that one right off the bat. We need the data of the weapon tests first. Your species is insane. Sure we are, buddy. Oh, and if you want to surrender unconditionally, we can still call of the Boffin's fun field tests. You got 4 minutes left. The Namtooths looked at each other, tentacles stiff, as the Terran smiled brightly at them. Surrender on what conditions, Terran? Unconditionally. That means that you give up and we give no guarantees, reassurances, or promises. This is not how things are done. This is an affront to the goddesses, and it is how things are done now. No rules in war, remember? Oh, and it's 3 minutes left, by the way. But how can we be assured that you will not go ahead with this monkey business if there is no reassurances? You can't, but you can hope we'll feel merciful, which I assume is an affront to the goddess. Most of things we do seem to be. 2.5 minutes. The Xenos seem to shrink and shrivel. We will surrender. Unconditionally. The Namphithian spokesbeing looked towards the rest of his group before replying. Unreservedly, but with some hope. Great, the human said as he held out the datapad. I'm going to need your signature here, and here. And from the rest of you guys too, if you don't mind. One by one, The Namphuthians signed and were escorted out, heads so low their tentacles dragged on the floor. As the last one left, the head of the Terran delegation turned to the others. High five, gentlemen. They bought it. Nova bombs and instant interstellar communications, said the one who had given him the datapad. Why are Xenos so gullible? I guess, the head of the delegation said as he grinned, that if they believe we'll break the laws of war, they will believe anything. That's all for today. Let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this. Make sure to subscribe to our channel.